Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season one finale episode of the Pop Whiz After Show. My name is Ryan Vickers. I'm the creative consultant here on Pop Whiz. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, Gunnarolla, live
Hi.
in the Pop Whiz tent.
What an intro. I am in the tent. We've been waiting for you to arrive to set. Where are you?
I'm in my very low-key dressing room.
Okay.
Here.
We have like completely opposite backgrounds, actually. You're very minimalist, and I am like, bam, neon, everything.
But it's great, and that's what we love, and that's why we had Pop Whiz. So it was a season finale. If you're watching this on the day that it drops, and we had a great time filming this. Overall experience with the show, Gunnarolla?
20 out of 10.
Oh, excellent. Ours is not
Listen,
a match show.
I was brought into this project having never hosted a game show, and this was a brand new thing, so didn't really know what to expect. But we had an amazing team. Everybody, from our crew, but also just the teams that we met, their families, the local business owners. Got to see parts of Ontario that were not, to be honest, not at the top of my list, but they were cool, and I'd been meaning to get there. It was also, we shot this. We're still in a pandemic, so it was a good way to ease back into production. It was mostly outdoors, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I learned a ton too from the trivia questions.
Is there anything particular? Was there one that sort of stuck that you either enjoyed or went, that's an interesting fact?
Question wise?
Yeah. Is anything one? Now I realize that you have heard hundreds of questions.
I've heard and asked. I've asked hundreds of questions as well.
Exactly.
No, they've all been really good. So, kudos to our writers.
Yes, thank you, the writers.
What am I thinking? The episode that we just watched, there was a question about Brangelina that I don't think anybody got, which made me feel really old because I knew the answer to that. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So
we've talked a bit about is there any? I realized that we were so lucky to get such wonderful contestants. Is there any one particular sort of I don't want to say a contestant per se, because I don't think that's fair to say one or two particular contestants, but was there anything that someone did or someone said, or maybe a funny answer to a question?
Well, there were the two guys in Thunder Bay, Oliver and Colton, who in Thunder Bay, our location was right across from a McDonald's, and I was staring at the McDonald's all day. And they came over with a junior chicken, so really appreciated that. Anything to do with food was great. We had a few sibling rivalries that turned out to be really cool. I loved the two girls. Again, Thunder Bay. By the end of, they were our last two contestants. I thought they were like lifelong friends because they just had that vibe about them, but they had just met on the show. So I loved that about our show, is that, we could throw together random groups of teens and, they'd make friends or act friendly at least. I wish I had something like that when I was a teenager,
Yes, agreed. And to your point, just to add on, many kudos, one more Thunder Bay kudos. When you got food delivered, I got the toy from the food bag, which is a little Space Jam figurine, I think it is.
Right.
Which is now blue tacked to the top of my monitor in my office here at home. So
everybody wins on Pop
every
Whiz.
time. So
yeah, the teens get cash prizes and we get the McDonald's prizes.
And that's perfectly fine. And you know what? The nice thing is we were so lucky to go to these communities and build these relationships, but not only with the contestants, with the parents, with the family and friends, the players, the B-roll. Is there now? I haven't had a chance to ask you this because we haven't had you back on the after show for a while. If they didn't, here's a little secret, folks, they helped them out with the escape room. If they hadn't helped you in the escape room, would you still be there, knowing that episode?
I never would have escaped. Maybe I would make it as far as the ball pit. I would not have figured out how to get out of the ball pit.
And in fairness, and I said this is Gunnarolla, I actually went back last month and did that escape room with a friend, and we only did it with two. And to your defense, that was a very fun room, but it was challenging. And side note, I'm sorry you didn't make it to the pulpit.
I feel like so our DP for the most of the series, Justin, it was just us in that room, and I feel like it took everything in him not to like scream out like, no, you need to do this, because it's one thing to like actually do an escape room, but it's a whole other thing to try to perform for camera, but then also to watch somebody who clearly is just needs all the hints. And I thought they were going to give me hints. They didn't give me any hints.
Meanwhile, your production staff is in the room where they press the
Yeah.
buttons for the scares.
Yeah.
So.
You got the real behind the scenes. I would be so interested.
I did, but then I did that escape room and I still did horrible at it. I think I'm pretty good at escape rooms. So
everybody's got to make it out to what was it, Wonderland? Is that what it was called? In Kingston.
Yes, the escape room. It's on the west end of Kingston. So is there any specific memory you have being on the road? Now, we should say, for the most part, we were taping these over a series of shooting blocks. So if we would tape all the Thunder Bay together and all the Timmins together, but not necessarily. Some of us went between cities, some of us came back. Is there anything particular just being on the road and hopping in the van, whether it's a B-roll or not, that comes to mind?
With the crew?
With the crew, anything that's suitable for a YouTube audience. So
I had some great times just going from location to location. I was always with Sergio, our producer. Love Sergio. We had really good chats on those drives. He left me alone, I think, in where were we? Was it Timmins? And there were just a lot of bugs. And I did not I do not like bugs. But the bugs up north are a little gnarly. But
I am sad that we didn't get you to go to the wake park in Timmins. That would have been great B-roll. So
maybe a season 2, who knows?
Is there anything else that sort of comes to mind? Great memories or interactions with people?
I mean, like I said, everybody we met along the way, there was not one difficult person, from just people doing cool stuff. We had the Martello Alley for artists, we never thought that was going on there. Cornwall, the candy shop, popcorn company, and, the pizza restaurant we visited. Everybody was so excited to host us. And it made me feel good about what I do, because I actually come from the travel food world where, we try to give people a glimpse into local cultures and local businesses. So especially, over the course of the pandemic, it's been very hard to work in tourism or to work in hospitality, to have a restaurant, to have any business that depends on tourism or people being able to leave their house. So I think it felt good to be able to support them. And we just got the best welcome ever.
And that's right. And then and we mentioned this before, you get bonus things like wind in one particular city that blew over our tent. But and folks, we had a decent sized crew, but it wasn't the biggest crew of a TV show. It's not the smallest crew by any means. But the wonderful thing, and you can attest to this, is that we became great friends over the summer, and you had each other's back, and no one person was above another person. We all pitched in where need be. So
yeah, and that's the great thing about working with a more lean crew, is that you come to really know everybody and have conversations with everybody. And I know that I could trust Justin and Rich and and Paul to make sure everything looked good, sounded good, and Sergio to direct me, and Didi also with just the scheduling god and good logistical make how do we make everything happen, and Daryl too, all the parent interviews we did, everybody was great. I like working in a smaller team, because it just, everybody's pulling their weight, and, you really get to know people. And that's so important when you're, especially for me being the main on-camera talent person. Mm-hmm. I want to know that, okay, we're all trying to make this look good, and people, you're going to tell me if, okay, the energy's a bit low, or you're very shiny. That was like the one note that I got from Justin and Didi all the time. I was like, can we please get him some blotting papers, because he's just shiny. Because we shot this at the height of summer in Ontario, in northern Ontario. It was very hot. And we were outdoors.
I'll take that over very cold, just to
no, for sure,
right?
For sure. Listen, if given the alternatives, I think I'm happy we shot in the summer. But it's just so funny to watch the episodes too, because they've been airing out of order, and my skin shade just changes. It's kind of here, and it's oh, he's really tan in Kingston, but that's because we were outdoors for 3 days. Yeah.
I think that's it. Thank you so much for being the host. We're so happy we had you on board and bringing such wonderful energy to a bunch of contestants that you're like, okay, what's going on now? So
it was easy, right? We had a great concept, great format, great contestants, just a great crew. I have to shout out Frank and Aiden also for, being the behind the scenes guys, and Suzanne and just everybody was amazing. And yeah, it was so much fun, and I hope that came across. And thanks
and
for
even, pardon me. Oh, were you going to say the line?
I was going to say the line.
Wait, I have one more thing. I said too, and part of the fun too is that we got to participate in Pop Whiz Online as well, which was great to bring it to people that couldn't get to set.
Yeah, because look, I think everybody has interest in some aspect of pop culture, whether it's sports or music or films or shows. Like, it affects all of our daily lives. So, how fun is it to be able to test that knowledge and win money? We don't have, for people who don't know, they won cash prizes. It wasn't like a gift certificate or something. Yeah. It was actual cash prizes. So really, really good. And thank you to our sponsor, Jazz Apple over there, for making that possible. If we do another season, come have fun.
Oh, for sure.
You might surprise yourself.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And make sure if you want to visit our socials, you can pop on popwizgameshow.com, and all our socials linked are there. And there's extra content on the YouTube channel as well. And I'll let Gunnarolla have the final word.
The line that, the iconic line that we should have used every episode. Thanks for popping by.